Thank you for listening. A list of content warnings can be found in the episode description. Take care. Enjoy the show.
Oh, great. It's Mantuak. Poor Shiv in this Burke. I'll shut him up. Maybe.
You still fail to find an end, biped. Have you retrieved the particular skull the master wants?
Not yet.
Then fetch it, biped, and do not return until you have it. Do not keep the master waiting.
I need to speak with him. There was no skull where he had said.
Impossible. Impossible. It can only be through your incompetence that you have faltered.
Sure. Say, would you like some cheese, Mantuak?
You hold out the wedge of Farret's poisoned cheese, and Mantuak snatches it from your outstretched hand. He sniffs it carefully, eyeing you suspiciously. With a grin, he devours it and sneers.
Don't think your pandering will gain you favor.
Suddenly, convulsing spasms shake his body as the toxins course through his veins. Bloody spittle drools from his mouth.
Run the hells, Mantuak.
Planescape Torment, the Unofficial audio series. A narrative let's play adapted and produced by RevocerGM. Combining in-game audio with additional voice acting through dialogue and descriptions to improve your listening experience. Rediscover the amazing story of the 1999 cult classic isometric video game, Planescape Torment, like you've never heard before.
Chief, I need you to figure this out soon. I'm losing my mind in here. Must you disturb my rest? While I welcome the sensation, I confess to desiring a sense of quiet. Huh? You talking to me? Yes. Or perhaps there is some other skull making a racket on these shelves. Oh, I see. There's so much going on down here, you need a little peace and quiet. Oh, wait, hush! I hear something. The sound of dust forming. Point taken. You are a little different from most skulls here, aren't you? More than just bones awoken. Me? I'm special. I'm the head of Vecna. But you can call me Le Petit Mort. Oh? Well, perhaps when I find a body again, I'll have to put that to the test. Which part? I'll leave that to your imagination. That you may do. Tell me about yourself. I suppose I can pass the time. I am, or was, ocean before the storm, a sensate. Now, alas, I am merely decoration.
A sensate? In a place like this?
Yes, I believe I've reached the quota on sitting on a dusty shelf. My boredom threshold is low.
What about all these other skulls on the shelf? They not provide a little stimulation?
Oh, they're nothing to relieve the tedium. Half are too dead to awaken without Lothar's magic. And the rest, well, we have the anarchist, who hates us all. The were-rat, who hates us all and himself. There is Stern, the old wizardly assassin. I don't know what he does, but he's basically evil.
Well, why don't we try and get out of here, eh? Just you and me.
No. Once I threw myself off the shelf and shattered. Next thing I knew, I was back on the shelf and we were all glued here. When Lothar tires of me, he'll dispose of me. Till then, I'll sit on the shelf and gather dust, answering Lothar's, and I suppose your, questions as needed. That is the extent of this miserable existence.
It sounds thrilling. How did you get here?
It's a long story. One that has to do with Ravel Puzzlewell, the Night Hag. Would you like to hear it?
It's not like we're going anywhere. Sure.
Very well. I was working in the sensoriums at the Civic Fest Hall. Ravel Puzzleworld, may the powers curse her black soul, had been coming there to find answers to riddles she'd encountered. She was a masterful solver of puzzles. Those that left our best minds baffled were but gauze to the force of her reason. Yet she had found difficulties that required outside answers. I heard that she was there to unlock the secrets of Sigil herself. Horribly ugly she was, taking no pains to use her magic to disguise her form, as I've heard she does, or rather did, from time to time. And that fiendish exterior frightened off many a potential factioneer. Still, I had to ask her what she was about, and whether she could teach me what she knew.
That sounds like it could have been a bad idea.
It was. She offered me a bargain, for she dwelt and dealt in riddles. If she were to answer my question, I must agree to answer one of hers. If I missed the answer, my life was hers. I agreed. She told me she intended to unlock the puzzle of the cage, to open it to all who wished to enter. Powers, fiends, celestials, modrons, and sladi, not to mention any inner-planar beings who chose to come along. The most important part to her was that all should know that the mystery that had baffled them for so long was unraveled by Ravel.
What does she do?
She asked her question. I could not answer it, though she assured me the answer was as plain as the nose on her face. My fellow sensates found me screaming in the sensorium when they arrived the next morning. I begged them to kill me, and they complied. None even suggested that I relish the new experience, so horrible it was. And here I am.
Oh, I'm sorry, I guess.
Your concern is endearing, but it's in the past now.
What was the question?
It was, how does one change the nature of a man?
After returning to the tunnels beneath Lothar's salon and dispatching the band of were-rats, a morbid thought crosses your mind. Lothar required a skull of great power in exchange for Mort. With nothing found within the tomb you had searched, you decide, grimly, to remove the sorcerer Mantuok's head from his shoulders, wrapping it in a cloth sack, hoping it will suffice. As you do, you notice that gripped within his vile claws is a black-bound tome. It radiates an unpleasant smell, and just touching it, you feel uncomfortable. You place it in your pack for now, but are not sure if you should even keep it, let alone open the thing. You climb up into Lothar's salon, and immediately his voice rings out around you.
Well, have you brought me the skull I require in exchange for yours?
There was no skull in that casket, Lothar. He appears, descending from a flight of spiral stairs, eyes fixing into yours. And you get the feeling he's sifting through your thoughts for a lie. After a moment, he releases you from his gaze.
What is the meaning of this? The tomb was so well trapped, so well defended from scrying magics, that it was a challenge even for me. There must be some explanation for this, and you will provide it to me.
I already have it. It was my own tomb. He strides towards you with surprising speed.
Your tomb. Your tomb. Interesting. I shall investigate this more carefully. Very well. Fetch me another skull, then, as you seem so attached to yours, and we shall see what answers I can provide. Our agreement shall be as before. Do not try to deceive me with just any bone, either. I am something of a connoisseur.
What about the skull of Mantuak? A flash of anger flares in his eyes, then dissipates.
Slay my servants, will you? Hand me his skull. I can smell his treachery, even in death. A careful skulker he was, but not careful enough, eh? I shall have his secrets from him, never fear, and I shall know his duplicity.
His fingers twist through an arcane gesture.
Your friend is released. He will await you above. Now, you must have your answers from me.
Yes, I have many questions. Why am I immortal?
Your mortality, your soul, if you will, that which allows you to live and die, is gone from you.
My mortality is gone.
Yes. It was stripped from you by magical means by the night hag, Ravel Puzzlewell. Your mortality is the key to your existence.
Is that why I've lost my memories?
Perhaps. It is likely if you were to be united with it, you would find your answers.
Tell me about this Ravel.
Ravel Puzzlewell is Enigma, even amongst the Dark Sisters. Some would call her balmy. Others say she plays a deeper game than any can see through. She is evil through and through, making the fiends you've seen in Sigil seem positively divine when compared to her. She is out of the reach of all now, thank the powers, for she was mazed by the Lady of Pain.
Mazed? Well, how would I find her?
Mazes are like pocket dimensions, small places between places. To reach one, you need only the portal and a key. I know not where either are.
What did Ravel do?
She was a maker of toys and puzzles, a solver of problems that didn't need solving. She decided that Sigil, the cage, was the largest puzzle box of all, and set herself to undo it, to let in the armies of fiends at her disposal, no doubt to upset the balance of the city, and turn the entire burg into a charnel house. Pray to any power you hold dear with thanks. She did not succeed.
I will find her then, and force her to return my mortality. Farewell. You make your way up the ladder out of Lothar's salon and head back onto street level. Maud bobs there waiting for you. His head is bowed slightly with a sheepish grin, but otherwise looks unharmed.
I knew you'd be back, Chief. Finally realized you needed me, huh?
You bet. Without you, we almost made some progress.
Oh yeah? What'd you find? The secret to your immortality?
Something like that. Come on, let's go. Back in the lower ward, you tread through wide paved streets stained black with soot. Great chimney stacks rise from uniform bricked workshops, each streaming a near constant flow of choking dust and fume. A constant traffic of laden wagons trundle into large warehouses, pulled by sickly horses and even sicklier workers whose skin is tinged yellow and scarred with burns. The buildings are dark and blockish, with narrow, smoky windows and tiled roofs. Nearby structures pierce this slated canopy and stand out above the rest. Vast cooling towers, protruding so high you'd think they'd almost jab the opposing wards across the ring of Sigil, all built up surrounding a massive keep-like factory that glows almost golden from the heat, blazing with an orange gleam from its vents. Next to this complex, not quite as grand but somehow more imposing, is a massive siege tower. It pokes out like a jagged nail punched through the city with brutish impact. It is covered in dents, scars, and scorch marks, and seems to rival the rest of the ward for quantity of smog that belches from the flues on its side.
Ugh, oh, my lungs feel like a chimney. Yeah, Chief, where are we going? This air's making my skull itch.
I need to get my bearings, and a moment to think. Let's head to that bar. Guilt Spurs. You work your way back near to where you'd first fled the Alley of Lingering Sighs, and eventually find the scarred doorway of the Red Pony Inn. There's a light hubbub inside, as the late-morning customers chatter at their tables, and you see Giltspur deep in conversation with a tall, slender figure. His face is angular and yellow, his nose is small and highly placed, and his ears taper to points. Dakon pauses as he sees him.
I would caution you against speaking to this Githyanki.
Githyanki?
They were once of common stock with the people, until Zerthamon made the pronouncement of two skies, and steel was bared. One race became two. It is a rift that cannot be crossed peacefully. If we share words, we shall bear steel.
We'll let it go then. Let's get out of here.
You tell me with his hail-seeing doggies, or I will...
The Githyanki turns his attention away from Giltspur and calls out.
Dakon, who wails on the walls of Shraklor. An unexpected surprise. Perhaps my blade will taste Shalaki blood today. This is not a place of battle, ye men. The entire multiverse is our battlefield, dog. There are no sanctuaries. There is no peace between you and I. Draw steel, and your blood shall stain the walls of this bar. Atazith!
With a flash, both Dakon and the Githyanki draw their blades.
Whoa. Oh, no, not this time, not again.
Giltspur immediately dashes from behind his bar with startling speed, a smooth polished cudgel sitting comfortably in his hand.
Do not stand between our blades, Barkip.
And do not stand with a drawn blade in my bar, Sirrah. If you want to fight with steel, then take it to the streets where the lady can be your witness. Several of the patrons all rise from their seats, staring Dakon and Yi Min down. Let it go, Dakon. After a moment, Dakon drops his guard, and Yi Min does the same, sheathing his sword upon his belt.
Shakat Zai has us bound for this moment. Perhaps we will cross paths again, Istak.
Dakon's glaive ripples at this, and his eyes follow as the Githyanki strolls from the bar. Thank the powers above and below. Can't be doing with another bash-up, not with all that's riling up. Giltspur, is everything all right? Oh, once again. You come to me once again, just as things heat up. Why is it, when anything happens interesting, it's you that steps inside? I've been wondering that myself. Sorry, I guess. No trouble, no pains. Men cloak themselves in intrigue not through choice alone. Now, you come to pay me back for the damages? Damages? Oh, yes. Wood, labor, and the will to fix it. Your mess put me back over 10 and 3 gold and a silver piece. Oh, right. The break-in. Break in, break out. It's all the same to me as long as you have the coin. Well, that's just it. I don't. You mean to tell me you don't intend to recompense me for the bother of cleaning up your mess? Because then, well, then there might be a problem. Do you have any jobs I could do? I certainly do, friend. I have a little errand that you could run, if you'll take it. All you need to do is run this handbill down to the print shop and ask Scofflaw Pen to drop 300 copies for me. Here, take it. He shoves a crumpled piece of paper into your hands. Thanks, I guess. What was that Gith talking to you about? Oh, just looking for another of those sword ringers. Hail something. Of course, I make a point never of sharing at Burke's business unless I'm given leave. Now, on you go. Time is precious, and I'll need more from you than a quick trip to the printers. Thank you, and farewell. Stylish script adorns the frame leading into this tidy bureau. Inside, Shelves stacked with files, typecases, and bottles of ink line the walls, and an ornate manual press stands ceremoniously beside a beautiful wooden desk. You can see, beyond a glass-paneled doorway, the main workshop, where rows of mechanical rotary printers ream out fresh pages, the smell of brass polish and binding glue just masking the vegetal stench of the newly dried pulp. An impressive place, if a little intimidating in its efficiency.
I've got a message for you to run. Here, take it and these coins. I'll be back with your receipt.
A moment. I have a message. Is that pen?
Don't know.
Hunched over this desk, scribbling on a piece of paper, is a stooped man with a tight-clenched expression on his face. His hair is thinning and drab, drawn back into a ponytail, and thin spectacles adorn his hooked nose. His age could be anywhere from his early 20s to his late 40s. He doesn't look up as he speaks to you.
I have to remember to. Yes. What do you want? Make it quick.
Giltspur asked me to deliver this handbill to you. He wants 300 copies. He reaches over and snatches the paper from your hand.
Oh, I'll have it for him later. Go, tell him.
And then turns back to his desk. What is this place?
Are you entirely dim? It's a printing shop. I print things here. Look around you. I print.
What do you print?
Books, pamphlets, handbills, words, letters, whatever. Though I don't do racy prints, and I won't fulfill any perversions you might want, nor do I care to ask. Now go.
Hold on. I still had a few questions.
Do they have to do with work?
Yes. Pen, right? Are you the one who wrote this note I found in the mortuary? Surprisingly, this scrap of paper you found the morning you awoke as you escaped the mortuary, although heavily stained with the ink blurring, has survived through all the turmoil of these past days in your pack. With a wary eye, he takes it from you, looks it over, and crumples it into a ball, which promptly crumbles into ash.
Someone's been defaming my good name, it seems. Now, did you want something?
Aren't you worried about that defamation?
Well, why would I be? It's just competition in Sigil. I've got a good idea of who it might be too, and I've got a little surprise of my own coming for him.
Can I be of any assistance?
Are you truly as stupid as you look? Of course not. Now, leave me be.
Farewell then.
Oh, adventure, glory. Aye, this is the life.
What are you talking about?
Oh, just fulfilling my dream of being a messenger boy. How exciting.
Right. I get it.
What are we doing? I thought you'd be charging off to find this hag. I have some questions. Tell me about yourself. You know the secret to my immortality? I mean, I don't blame you in stalling. Only a Balmy would go and search for her.
What do you know of her?
She's the evilest of the Grey Ladies, she is. Filthy mean, and with more power to toss around than some of the powers themselves. It's said she's all a brambles through and through, even her heart. It's said you can never kill her, because her body's like a tree. You lop off one limb, and there's always another still growing somewhere else across the plains. As I said, only a barmaid'd seek her out.
Right. Well, after that encouragement, maybe you can understand why I'm a little hesitant. I need information. And for that, I need coin. But above all, I need friends. People I can trust. Because right now, it seems everywhere I go, there's another person I've pissed off. Another life that I've... So yeah, I'm stalling. Now, as I said, you needn't follow me if you don't want to. And if how I'm going about things is a problem, then perhaps it... Anna turns away, a glint of moisture gathering in the corner of her eyes.
Why'd you have to go and be so daft? I was only teasing.
Anna,
If you needed coin, you could have just said.
what do you mean? She turns back around. Her face is a little red, but there's a bright glint in her eye.
What do you think I'm best at?
A sly grin stretches across her face.
Do you trust me?
Yes, Anna. I trust you.
Good. Now let's have no more of that.
This way. Behold, the trade of Sigil. The open-air market of the Low Ward is a strange reprieve from the surrounding neighborhood. Set below street level, dug down just before the foundry gates, it forms an industrious moat of sorts, barring easy access to the workshops and forges beyond. It does, as a result, manage to escape the worst of the smog, although the constant trundling of wagons on the rickety tracks overhead scatters dust over the horde of tinkers and peddlers crowding in their stalls. A vast array of peoples and their wares sprawl out in this cramped ravine, layering on top of each other via ladders and hanging platforms. Splayed out on swathes of fabric, you see tools, blades, cutlery, anything that could be hammered, ground, or wrought from scrap metal, all bargained and bartered for a price. There are decorative items too, small charms and bracelets. One stall is selling sheets of beaten steel, artistically heated and polished to depict the faces of curious passers-by. The smells of rust and mineral spirit fill the place, all interspersed by an aromatic smoke that wafts from the many flaming grills and blast stoves. Anna weaves in and out of this crowd, subtly noting marks for her own trade. Indeed, while there is a grime and grittiness to this place, unlike the Hive where everyone you'd cross would seem on the brink of desperation, there is a competition and sport to the hunger here, and commerce flows as readily as the sweat down your back in the heat of it all.
You got to choose your mark carefully, Jig. Clipping coins off a barber is easy, but sober or more knowing folks are harder to pull the sheet over.
Her eyes gleam as she spots a new target, a lavishly dressed merchant, swaddled in silken robes, who appears to be sampling savories from every hawker in the market.
The purses of a lot of townsfolk can add up, they can. Sometimes they've tucked away something more than copper, and that's a find it is.
She smiles wickedly.
It's mostly a matter of doing it quick and gentle-like, so they don't feel their purse is getting lighter. You ready to give it a shot?
What?
I'm not just gonna pick someone's pocket randomly with you watching. Nay, not right away. Just try and nick some jink from me first. I'll tell you what you're doing wrong.
All right, where do you keep it?
But that's what you have to find out if you want to be a true-blooded thief.
All right. Let me try and pickpocket you for it. You stand before her, awkwardly. Then, as soon as you make a move, Anna holds up her hand.
All right, stop. You've already messed up. You have...
What?
You have to watch your approach, you do. You can't just be a Thakola and muscle your way up to your mark, especially when you look like you do.
Anna suddenly puts her hands on her hips and turns to look off to your side, as if disinterested.
You have to act like the mark is nothing to you. Less than nothing. You don't care what he's got at all.
Act like I don't care. Right. What then?
Then, you got to make sure you strike at the right time. You should do it right after you move by someone, because they'll probably be too frightened to turn around to see where you've gone. Okay, now find your mark and leave me be. I got work to do.
She begins to amble towards this merchant, who is now plucking charred pieces of fruit from a skewer, nibbling each in turn. Between the bustle of workers ferrying boxes of goods and the pandering of hagglers as they draw you in for a trade, you have a hard time finding anyone who might be an easy enough mark. You do see one woman. She is wandering about the market, examining everything. Her eyes drift from stall to stall, but she doesn't make any purchases. In fact, you notice that the merchants seem to be avoiding her. As she approaches one, they appear to suddenly become very busy in arranging their goods. They try not to make it obvious, but it's clear she's aware of their avoidance, and a sad smile appears on her face. All this happens as you become aware that you have been walking towards her, staring. She notices as you approach, and her smile changes to the warmest and friendliest that you have ever seen.
Hi!
Greetings.
Hello! I'm Karina. It's a pleasure to meet you, Cutter.
Her smile broadens even further, and you feel utterly ashamed as she waits for your response.
Thank you. You too. I have some questions.
All right, well, what do you want to know?
You glance over at Anna, who has moved in on her target. The luxurious merchant wipes a hand on their tunic before grasping Anna's and lavishing it with a courteous kiss.
I was just wondering where I could buy some weapons.
Karina smiles and points to a counter covered in cruel-looking blades and barbed mauls.
Anne's over there sells weapons. All kinds of weapons. Are you a warrior? Oh, how silly of me. Of course you are. I mean, how could you not be with all those scars? Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't mention those. You're not sensitive about them, are you?
No, I've gotten used to them.
Oh, good. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Or anyone else's, for that matter. You just have to be careful what you say to someone, you know? I mean, people are different, and you never know. What may offend one person may not offend another, so... Anyway...
Of course. Karina, I realize I think I'm in the wrong place. I actually need to find something.
What is it? You can find almost anything here. It's nothing compared to the market ward, but I prefer it here.
Market ward?
Oh, yes. Too busy for me. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for someone who sells magic.
Oh, are you a mage? You don't look like one, but I guess looks can be rather deceiving. I don't really know what a mage looks like now that I think about it. Do you? I always imagined they'd wear robes with funny symbols and pointy hats. What do you think?
Sure, that sounds about right.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's good to know. I mean, mages scare me, so I want to know what they look like. I guess it's all that power they have, and they can do really incredible things and all, but you don't know what they look like. Warriors and priests and you know, other powerful people just look powerful with all that stuff they carry around that says they're powerful people, but not mages.
She pauses.
But if you need magic things, Alec over there sells them. Or if it's spells you want, there's Cinder.
Cinder?
Yeah. Oh, I'll take you to him.
Oh.
You glance again over to Anna and see her glaring at you, shaking her head and making a cutting motion with her hand, as her other hand subtly pulls at a golden chain looped around her target's sash.
I like Cinder. He talks to me sometimes, unlike the others.
You really like to talk, don't you?
She shuffles her feet and looks embarrassed.
Well, I've been told that I probably talk a bit too much, and, well, people tend to avoid me, and I don't really have any friends, or,
Her voice gets lower and lower until she is finally silent. She stares at the ground at her feet.
Or sometimes I get lonely.
Oh, well, no need for that. You seem like a good person, Karina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sure. I like you.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you so much. I don't know your name.
Yeah, I don't remember my name.
Well, what's in a name? It's just nice to know I have a friend.
She smiles and leads you, surprisingly now in a contented silence, towards another stall set up on a small podium.
Well, Cinder's just up there. I've already bothered him today, so I'll leave you to it. Farewell. friend?
Farewell, Karina. Anna gestures to you from across the market, rolling her eyes.
Oh, hello. Can I help you?
You turn to see an incredibly large, blustery merchant. His shoulders are almost as wide as he is tall, and his head narrows to a conical dome over his thick cheeks and jaw. Aside from that, he looks to be totally hairless, and his pale yellow skin is scarred with burns.
Greetings. Oh, greetings. I'm Cinder. Oh, I think I've heard about you. You be the scarred, clueless fellow that be going around the wards asking questions. What can I be helping you with?
That sounds like me. You look like you have a few scars yourself. He frowns, then begins to laugh.
Oh, that I do. A few years back, I had me kit set up in the hive. Some barmy mage decided to burn the ward right out of Sigil. Almost took me with it. Sick for a month, I was.
A month? No, that's not all that long.
Aye, it could have been worse. A local mage healed me. Fixed the scars and all. We were rivals before that, but, well, we grew out of that petty nonsense.
You were burned?
Aye. Funny, given my name. Singed to my skins. Could have grown my hair back, but I kind of like the look now.
This mage, do you think they could help with my scars?
Oh, I don't see why not. Your scars don't look that bad.
He looks at you closely.
Well. Aye, now who's to say? You should talk to him yourself. Name's Sebastian, and he sets his kip up over by the foundry.
I may do that. What is this place?
This is the open-air market. Some of the best traders that be in Sigil. No middlings, just hard-working folk with something to sell. Fortune smiles on you to have entered it, Carter. We have an empty stall.
He points to the stall next to his.
If you be a merchant yourself, you can just set up your kit and barter with the rest of us. As long as you're too much of a bother.
Why is that stall empty?
Merchant by the name of Zach got his kit there. Got himself a page in the dead book recently. Strange story, that.
Strange in what way?
Well, I don't know the dark of it all, but Zach had a bit of business trouble and needed some coin. He got himself a loan. After that, the lender started trying to take the business from him, but Zach refused.
Go on.
Well, not long after that, Zach was a debtor. Here they took his widow to the block.
The block?
Aye, the auction block. Well, if you can't pay your debts, you get sold into service for a few years as punishment.
He shakes his head sadly. Where is this block?
Oh, up on the other side of the market, closer to street level. You can't miss it because of the crowd.
Huh. You think the lender had something to do with this Zach's death?
Oh no, I recognize that look in your eye. I'd be mindful getting too involved, Cutter. That's what we have the harmonium for.
He leans in close and lowers his voice.
But if you're dead set on it, Corvus, one of the harmonium guards here at the market, is real interested in finding what happened to this Zach. If anything were to be found, he'd be the one to take it to. Just look for the fella in bright red spiky armor.
All right. Thanks, Cinder.
Aye. Farewell, Cutter. Come on over. Put some of your coffee to good use.
Indeed, it is hard to miss the auction block. On a raised platform almost up at street level, a gang of disheveled citizens are on display above a crowd of fulminating nobles and eager merchants. The traders poke and jeer up at them like they are prized cattle.
And now we have the roaring leader.
One woman, covered in grimy battle scars, snatches down from the platform at the boisterous auctioneer, who is parading in front of these people, making no attempt to preserve their dignity.
Help! Oh God, get off me!
He yelps as a hand grasps at his mouth, and two burly guards quickly step over and drag her to the back of the platform. It is hard to see what exactly happens next, but the other prisoners flinch away and suddenly become much more subdued. The auctioneer brushes himself off and continues his routine flawlessly.
Feisty is her nature.
He is very animated in a grim sort of way. and does a lot of shouting and stomping, and relishes it as the crowd surges back into their frenzied hollering, seemingly unperturbed by the display of violence. You push forward and try to get a closer look at these captives. They look exhausted. Above the protection of the ravine, the full impact of the lower ward's smog envelops them, and streaks of grimy yellow trail from their eyes and noses. Some bristle bitterly at the noise of the mob. Others sit in dissociative meditation. You see one who appears to be trying to get your attention. Her skin is not as dusty, nor stained quite so much from the exposure. It is clear she has not been held on this platform long, and that she intends to be off it as quickly as possible.
You, sir, come.
Her arms reach down between the wooden slats of the structure, and her hands grasp for yours.
Oh, thank the powers, you noticed me. I am in need of the services of a mercenary.
Neither the crowd nor the guards are happy with this breach of conduct.
If appearances are any indication, you would seem to be such an individual. Quickly, help me. My name is Trist.
Before you can continue, the guards grab her shoulders and pull her away from you.
Help me, sir. Help me, please.
The auctioneer steps between you and the platform, a strained grin masking his irritation.
Do keep your hands off the merchandise, sir.
Greetings. What is this, some sort of problem?
Well, 1,000 greetings do I bestow on you, Sarah. The problem is that you see.
He does a double take when he notices your scars, and immediately his tone becomes softer, more cloying.
You know, I take one look at you with my discerning eye, and I see a man in the market for some healing charms. An adventurer, perhaps. A soldier of fortune. Or perhaps I am. But do you have any charms? Do I, Darren, have any charms? No, sir, I do not. However, don't let that fact discourage you. I have plenty of other items for sale.
He points to the rear of the auction block, where Trist is being held by the guards.
You sell these slaves? No, sirrah, these are indentured servants, not slaves. For the most part, they are guilty of minor crimes. The proceeds from their sale go toward paying their debt to the city. After the term of servitude, they will be free citizens once again.
Sounds like slavery to me. He gives you a bright smile.
I don't concern myself with such thoughts. My task is to sell their contracts as given by the courts of Sigil, and collect a percentage for my efforts, you understand. Who are you? Darren's the name, friend. Can it be you have not heard of me? I'm wounded. Verily I am.
He smiles wider at the feigned barb.
No one finer or more well known for bringing people who want people a little closer together. Do you be wanting someone, friend?
Well, I was just looking at someone until your guards dragged them away.
Well, we can never be too careful here in the lower ward. I'm sure you can understand. But perhaps I'll make an exception for one such as you. Hagen, get her up. Bring our tryst to this most discerning customer.
You look around at Dakon and Mort, who are eyeing you uneasily. Dakon's jaw is clenched tight, and his fingers twitch as if preparing to reach for his glaive. You give him a slight nod to ease him.
This, my friend, is Tryst. Truly a remarkable find from the ladies' ward, unhampered by the fumes that choke us here. Fear not, her chains will hold. Guards, keep an eye on her.
Darren resumes his show, leaving you with Tryst and the guards.
Next we have the half-orc barbarian.
Good. Thank you. I trust my choosing of you is not misplaced.
No. But what exactly is it that you want of me?
I am in need of a champion. Someone who will help me prove my innocence and free me from this fate.
Tell me exactly what's going on.
The heart of the matter is that I am to be sold into slavery for a crime I did not commit. This is long in the telling, Cutter. Please bear with me.
Go ahead.
Thank you. My husband died recently and left me his business. And business is not my expertise, so I decided to sell. Not long afterward, I was contacted by a lender saying a loan assigned to my husband had not been paid.
Was your husband Zach, by any chance?
You've heard of him?
I have.
Okay, good. I examined all the documents my husband kept and found that there had indeed been a loan taken, but it had just recently been paid in full. I explained this to the lender, and a few days later, he asked me for a copy of the document. It was nowhere to be found.
Go on.
Well, when I could not prove that the loan was paid, the lender took me before the court. My monies were taken and applied to the balance owed. Since it did not pay off the loan, I am to be sold on the block to try and recover the remaining amount due.
She gives you a forlorn look. I don't understand. Why sell you into slavery?
As barbaric as it seems, some claim it serves many purposes. They tell you it keeps the prisons clear of all but the vilest criminals. The convicted still serve a sentence from which they are eventually released, supposedly as better citizens. Though the reality is that many of us will be cast for blood sport, and others worked to within an inch of our lives before fulfilling our terms.
Right. But I don't see how I can help you.
I need someone to find the missing document, the one that proves the loan was paid. Or if you could purchase my contract, I could pay you back.
She gives you a pleading look.
If I'm forced to stay and work here in this ward, Cutter, it will kill me. Surely you've noticed the illness shared by all who work here.
Yes, the yellow skin and coughing.
Yes, Cutter. Please, can you find it in your heart to help me? Please.
All right, yes, I'll help you. I have some questions, though. She nods her head eagerly.
Ask anything, Cutter.
What's the lender's name?
I know his name well, Cutter. After all I've been through, I will not likely forget it.
She gets a faraway look and then shudders for a moment.
Byron Pickett. A cruel man, more mercenary than any I've met. Though his weapon of choice is his tongue, and his armor, bureaucracy.
Does he work with anyone? She thinks for a moment.
There was a small, feral-looking man who came to court a few times. He would sit behind Pickett and whisper to him occasionally.
Go on.
I remember him because he always seemed to be uncomfortable in his clothes. He would pick at them as if they were new, as if he was not used to wearing them. On one such occasion, Pickett told him to sit still and stop fidgeting. I think he called him Lenny.
Do you have any idea where I could find Byron or Lenny?
I am not sure, actually. My husband told me that some of Byron's ruffians could be found operating within the market. Byron oversees the place. Merchants pay him a fee, and he keeps the thugs off their backs.
She thinks for a moment and shrugs.
He must have somewhere he holds up. Forgive me, but I am not certain.
Okay, all right. Who do I talk to about your contract?
That would be Darren, and you've already met him.
Lucky me. Is there any circumstance in which you could have misplaced the loan document? She shakes her head.
No, Cutter. I am a very meticulous person. I kept the document in a lockbox in my husband's old study. It never left that room.
Do you think it could have been stolen?
I don't know. Why would anyone steal that, yet leave the other valuables be? It makes little sense to me.
Well, maybe the lender stole the document so that you'd pay for the loan twice.
That is a terrible thought, Cutter. But one I wouldn't put past that coney catcher Pickett.
Have you explained any of this to the court she spoke of?
Oh, yes, Cutter. I've explained my situation to many. You are the first to be willing to help me.
All right. I'll do what I can. First, I need to see if I can get you off this block.
Thank you. This is no small favor.
You return to the auctioneer, who smiles at your approach.
Ah, the adventurer returns. I trust all is to your satisfaction.
I want to talk to you about Trist.
Oh, very well, Sirrah.
He leaps down from his podium, grinning. She says that she doesn't belong on the block.
And would you say otherwise if you were in her shoes?
He shakes his head.
I have heard her story, sir. Although I sympathize with the lady, there is nothing I can do without evidence to back her up.
What if I can prove she is innocent?
Well, then, as an agent of the courts, I would go before them with this new evidence and have all judgments against Trist reversed. But do you have such evidence?
Not at this time.
Ah, shame. Truly.
Then what am I to do? My hands are tied. 'Tis the law.
Surely you realize that even the law can err at times. If an innocent were to suffer due to such an error, it would be a terrible miscarriage of justice, and bring all kinds of attention that I'm sure you'd rather avoid. He grits his teeth and stares into your eyes, trying to gauge your seriousness.
Do you intend to seek such evidence on behalf of Miss Trist?
Yes, I do. Fine. I will not auction Trist for now, sir. You have till half-peak. Any longer and she's back on the block. Hagen, get her out.
Good luck in your endeavor. Now, leave me be and get to it.
Trist gives you a thankful nod as the guards usher her down from the platform. Thank you. Farewell. It doesn't take you long to find Corvus, the Harmonium Guard. With his bright red shiny armor that somewhat resembles a boiled lobster, he clearly stands out amongst the soot and smoke of the open-air market. Merchants and tradesfolk stream about him irreverently. Unlike the Hive, where the presence of these hardheads would garner a hushed fear as they march through to some unfortunate recipient of their judgment, here, amongst the business owners and guild artisans, their power is vastly diminished. The armor of law is worn best by those who wield words over steel. This man is tall and youthful, and despite its gaudiness, he wears the uniform of the Harmonium well, appearing every part the bastion of order and goodness his faction would choose to present. He stands sentinel, scanning thoughtfully over the stalls about him, but you notice his gaze darts repeatedly into the crowd, in one direction in particular. Greetings. Good day, citizen. Good day. Corvus, right? That I am. How may I help you, citizen? He gives you a friendly look, then immediately glances over your shoulder towards the point of his fixation. Your Harmonium. Tell me about them. Our belief is simple. We are the light. We are the way. We are order. We are truth. We maintain and enforce order here in Sigil. We police the city. He swells with pride as he recites his spiel, and though accompanied with a well-drilled vigor, his words do not lack sincerity. Well, I'm actually looking into something that could threaten the order here in the city. Can you help me? Citizen, I assure you whatever it is, the Harmonium are likely already taking care of it. Take my advice and leave the looking into things to us, Cutter. Now, please, unless I can be of more assistance, allow me to my duty. He glances again over your shoulder. Is everything all right? You seem distracted. You turn around, and to your surprise, you see that it is Karina, who you'd met earlier in the market, who seems to have grabbed this man's attention. Corvus has his eyes locked on her as she wanders about, and as far as you can tell, there's no malice or scrutiny, but a look in his eye of pure adoration. Oh, powers. Really? Just from this brief interaction, you've no reason to doubt his good nature, and suppose that Karina would likely welcome the company if they were to be introduced. Citizen, I must ask Her name is Karina. He snaps his attention back to you. I beg your pardon. You know her, citizen. He looks back at Karina again. Yeah, she's great. She's friendly. You should talk to her. I might just do. Karina, you said. What was it that you wanted from me, Cutter? Right. I wanted to talk to you about the merchant Zach.
A grim look sets in his face as his demeanor immediately sobers.
Anything I know about that is harmonium business, citizen. I cannot discuss such matters. All I can say is that Zach was murdered, and an investigation is being conducted. If you discover anything that will further that investigation, please bring it to my attention.
Do you know the lender, Byron Pickett? He frowns and nods his head.
Yes, I am familiar with Byron.
What can you tell me about him?
Officially, nothing.
He pauses for a moment.
Unofficially, he is suspected of being behind most of the criminal activity here at the market.
Anything else?
Yes. I would not turn my back to him, and I would think twice about being anywhere alone with him.
He lowers his voice.
His list of suspected crimes is quite long, including, in my opinion, the murder of the merchant Zach.
What about the name Lenny? That mean anything to you?
Lenny. Yes, I know a citizen around here who goes by that name.
What can you tell me about him?
Again, officially, nothing. Unofficially, he is a thief, and a good one. A master, I would say. Although he is a thief, he seems to have some ethics. He has never been suspected of assault or murder. He has managed to avoid the law on numerous occasions.
He pauses, and a slight smile illuminates his face. Anything else?
Yes. I would not be afraid to turn my back to Lenny. And there are a few people I can say that about.
He shrugs.
That is all, friend. Thank you. As I said, citizen, the Harmonium are on the case. But if you do go looking, be careful.
All right, I will. Farewell. As you leave, you notice Corvus take a deep breath and begin walking towards Karina as a warm smile beams across her face.
They'll get on just fine.
After a few moments, Anna emerges from the crowd and rejoins you from her spree within the market. There is a bemused look on her face as she approaches.
What's this?
What?
I sent you off to snag some junk and find you yapping with the harmonium? You trying to get caught? You should have seen him earlier when he tried to loose a few coins from some chick. You were one step away from buying her a friendship bracelet.
Yeah, she was nice. I wasn't gonna rob her. You have any luck? Barely. Just these.
She reveals a few gold chains bundled in a cloth.
So, what's the plan?
We're gonna speak with a moneylender.
In the depths of this market, at the very base of this ravine, there is a wooden structure. Raised up on stilts, it squats above a sludgy morass of filth that churns beneath it like the oozing blood of Sigil itself. A pair of thugs lean either side of the doorway and flank behind you as you step within. Inside, you see a well-dressed middle-aged man. He is standing before a window and seems to be scanning the crowd outside with a practiced eye. He notices you enter and gives you a quick once-over.
Greetings.
He smiles at you and gives a barely perceptible nod.
I'm Byron Pickett, moneylender. May I help you?
Moneylender?
Yes. I cater to the needs of merchants. Want to start a business? Keep one afloat that's down on its luck? Or perhaps expand one? In whatever case, you come to me for the funds.
He looks you up and down.
Though I doubt that you are a merchant, sir. So, what can I do for you?
I'm a merchant.
Byron smiles and looks away for a moment.
A merchant of death, maybe. But not the kind I do business with.
He frowns, his gaze boring into yours.
If you insist on monopolizing my time, please come to the point of this visit.
Tell me about your business.
He shakes his head and seats himself behind a large wooden desk.
I see no reason to. No. You obviously are not someone I would likely conduct business with. Perhaps you should leave.
Or tell me why I might be mistaken. I have some questions. You pull out the bundle of jewelry Anna had acquired from the market. Byron's eyes gleam at the sight of the gold. Very well, make it quick. What is this place? Not from Sigil, are you? How'd you guess? Well, this particular locale is the open-air market. But more generally, we are in what's called the lower ward. He sighs, and a look of boredom crosses his face. Some will say it has something to do with planes and portals. But that's nonsense. Spread around to put a dainty shine on it all. People. It is always to do with people. You have the ladies' ward, full of gentleness and beauty. The clerk's ward is for the educated and the ambitious. The hive is full of vermin. But the lower ward, it is the home of the common people. Crafters, tradesfolk, labour, dullards and lowborn. He gestures to the window. Look outside, and you will see all that there is to see. Nothing. Well, nothing of any interest anyway. Scum. The effluent, not the affluent. Then why are you here? He smiles. The one thing these mindless sods are good for is spending their money. It gives them the feeling that they are actually accomplishing something with their otherwise meaningless lives. He pauses and looks about with disdain. Where there is money, you will also find merchants and thieves. I help provide the merchants needed to relieve these folk of their hard-earned coin. You mentioned thieves, and who helps provide them? Not I. He gives you a calculating look and smiles. Why do you ask? Call it curiosity. Well, such curiosity can be dangerous, even fatal if one isn't careful. He pauses to consider his next words as he examines you closely. I like you. You might want to talk to Lenny. You can usually be found lurking near the Spikewood entrance to the market. Tell him I sent you. I might do. Tell me about this open-air market. You run this place. Run it. No. Each merchant is self-dependent. Of course, many of them need funds to set up and keep their forges hot. No. It's an excellent market, one of the best in Sigil. Caters to just about every need. Well, nothing all that exotic is available. These sods can hardly afford such items. But it is a decent market, nonetheless. I hear it's been having trouble lately. Merchants disappearing. Attention from the harmonium. Not as decent as it may seem. Oh? And can any one of us be held accountable for the sins of a city such as ours? These things happen. People go missing. Yeah, you're right. And then people get arrested and sent to be sold for slavery on the block. That's why you're really here. Tryst. That's right. He frowns and looks away. After a moment, he looks at you and raises his eyebrows. What about her? I've been tasked by her to find a missing document. There is no missing document. That was a ruse, instigated by Tryst to cast doubt on her debt. This matter has been thoroughly investigated by the Mercy Killers, and they found no evidence of any such document. They could have missed something.
Always a possibility, but not very likely. You obviously are not familiar with the Mercy Killers or their methods for you to make such a statement. If they could not find the document, then it does not exist. So, tell me, why have Trist sold into slavery? Couldn't she pay you your money in the form of a loan? Yes, she could. And I did make that offer to her.
He looks at you sternly.
However, she turned me down. I don't allow second chances. No one turns me down without suffering the consequences. No one. Someone could have stolen the document and then destroyed it. That way the loan would have to be paid twice.
For a moment, he looks as if he is about to snap at you. Then a gloating smile crosses his face.
What a terrible thought. Pity there is no proof of such activity.
His grin turns into a leer.
Yes, a pity. Well, I've taken up enough of your time. If any proof does exist, I intend to find it. Well, good luck to you then. If the law couldn't help poor Trist, I don't think you have a chance in the Nine Hells of doing so. Now pike it, sod.
He turns away from you, and his two guards usher you out the door. As you make your way towards the entrance of the market, you get the feeling that you are being followed. You've no doubt that angering Pickett was a dangerous plan, but it's clear his involvement with Trist's arrest was more than just as an unpaid lender. It's also clear he's confident that without evidence to the contrary, the law will back up his claim. Back up towards street level, this close to the foundry, the harshness of the smog immediately hits your lungs. Most passers-by have wrapped their faces in masks to keep out the worst of it, though you are not sure how truly effective that would be in the long term. Scanning about, you see a gang of younger citizens clambering over some wrecked piece of machinery amongst a large pile of discarded scrap metal. Most of the pieces seem beyond salvage. As you approach, a small child with pale yellow skin notices you and signals to the others. You see that they have a rash that covers the exposed areas of their skin.
Greetings. I don't mean to disturb you. I'm looking for Lenny.
This kid looks exhausted. They flick their tired eyes towards a feral-looking man in shoddy clothes. The others slink out of sight as you walk towards him, and he begins eyeing you warily.
Greetings.
He looks you up and down, then glances about. Returning his attention to you, he gives you a wicked grin.
You best have a good reason for disturbing me, Buck. Lenny, right? I have some questions.
I ain't no tout. If you got questions, go find one of them.
His smile broadens.
Yeah, you best push off before I have to bleed you.
What if I told you Byron Pickett sent me?
He stops smiling and examines you for a while, his eyes lingering on your scars, and then he swallows slightly. After a moment, a frown settles on his face. You think he's nervous.
Pickett? Sent you? Why?
He said you could answer some questions.
He frowns.
What do you want to know?
His shoulders tense, and his fingers stroke a blade at his hip.
I want to ask you about the papers you stole from Trist.
He swallows hard and stares at you. It looks like he is ready to either run or strike you. He places one hand on his hip in a nonchalant manner, but you can tell he is wound as tight as a spring.
I don't know what you're talking about, Buck. You'd best be off.
You know what I'm talking about, Lenny. Byron had you steal some papers from her. I'm here to collect them.
He tries to match your gaze, but cannot, the corner of his eyes twitching and tearing up ever so slightly.
Collect them? Nah, I destroyed the papers after I nicked them, just like Byron told me to.
With this, he feigns confidence and squares himself towards you.
Really? Then why are you so nervous, Lenny? Let me guess. Byron thinks you destroyed the papers, but maybe you didn't. Maybe you kept them.
A little blackmail material, perhaps.
He stares at you for just a moment, then suddenly turns to run. But just as he does, you leap forward and grab him by the arm, holding him tight. He struggles for a moment, but is trapped in your grasp. Finally, he goes limp.
All right, I didn't destroy them. I'll give them to you, just let me go.
You loosen your grip.
Why'd you keep them, Lenny? Blackmail, I assume?
He snorts and gives you a defiant look.
I kept them so I could turn stag on your boss and keep Trist off the block.
He shakes his head.
Blackmail my ass. Why turn stag on him? I may be a thief, but I do have some standards. I won't kill some poor sod, and I won't do what Pickett did to Trist and her husband. But I guess that snake wins again.
He shakes his head and looks away.
I told your boss that what he was doing was wrong, and he laughed at me.
I see.
By the way, Byron doesn't actually win. What do you mean?
Trist wins this one. Pickett is not my boss. I'm retrieving the document for her. He stares at you in disbelief.
You serious? I thought... But you said...
He watches you closely for a moment, and then laughs.
You gave me the peel so I'd spill the chant to you. Well, good job, Cutter.
Let's go get the papers, Lenny. He shakes his head sadly.
I can't. I got them holed up in the warehouse now. And the way I see it, Byron's thugs will be watching me. More so now that you're here, I reckon. I want to help, I do. But if they get to me, I'm done. I can't get the sodding papers.
Lenny, an innocent woman is about to be sold on the auction block for this.
I know, and that's awful. But what if I do get them? Who would believe me? That's why I haven't helped Trist myself, Cutter. There's no one round here that I can give them to that can do anything about it. I'm a thief.
What if I knew someone?
Who?
Probably best I keep that to myself.
All right. I'll tell you how to get them.
Good. Where is this warehouse?
Just outside the foundry by the main gates. Vault of the Ninth World. Say to the clerk, I gave Pickett the laugh, and it'll give you Trist's papers, as well as a little bonus.
What bonus?
Evidence, Cutter. If there's someone you think you can trust, get it to them and it'll take Pickett off the streets for a long, long time.
All right. Thank you. Watch yourself, Lenny.
You too, Cutter.
For all the grandeur of its name, the Vault of the Ninth World is a more modest operation than you had perhaps expected. From the outside, it appears imposing, with pillar-like buttresses framing an ornate and officious double doorway. But as soon as you step inside, you find yourself within a mouldering, albeit large, warehouse. It is not the scale that is lacking. Indeed, the dim arcane lanterns shed their pale glow across innumerable stacks of crates and boxes, but more than half you can see look as though they have not been disturbed in centuries. The whole place feels neglected, a forgotten archival storage of countless denizens of the plains. One thing that dominates, however, is a large stone bust set behind a counter that acts as a division between you and the mountains of stock. You have no idea who or what this sculpture is meant to represent, but as you approach, its blockish features twist and begin to animate as a voice bellows from the space, resonating with every brick and beam about you.
Welcome to the vaults of the Ninth World. How may I serve you on this fine day, Sigillian?
What is this place?
The Vault of the Ninth World is pleased to serve as a warehouse for the lower ward and all the sentience of Sigil. Our motto is, when one world just isn't big enough. We provide storage space for those that have little to spare. Our prices are competitive, our service exemplary, and our courtesy to customers is known throughout the plains.
What are you?
I am the voice of the Vault of the Ninth World. I am here to serve you, the customer. Instruct me in what you desire.
What's the Ninth World?
Frankly, I have no idea. I think the owners thought that it would be a clever name or something.
Is it really as big as a world?
Oh no, marketing exaggeration. But it is remarkably large. As I said, instruct me in what you desire.
All right. I'd like to store something.
I am sorry, customer. We seem to be full up at the moment. Can I do anything else for you?
I thought this was supposed to be a huge storehouse.
Well, yes. Only we ran out of space and there's something a little fishy going on around here and I don't know what. I am but the voice of the Vault of the Ninth World. The gist of the matter is this. We don't really accept items for storage anymore.
Whatever. I'd like to claim something.
And what was it you were looking for exactly?
I was told to tell you that I gave Pickett the laugh.
I certainly hope so, sir. Whatever that means. I'm just a big dumb rockhead. Here are your papers, sir.
With the sound of rustling pages, a sheaf of papers appears upon a small plinth on top of the counter.
And here.
Followed quickly by another ruffle. An envelope appears as well.
Thank you.
No, thank you. And is there anything else that I can do for you?
Nothing. Farewell.
Farewell. We at the Vault of the Ninth World value your business. Please return.
Yeah, I'll bet.
The papers themselves appear to be proof of Trist's innocence, a deed along with other signed documents stating her husband's payment of the initial loan. But the envelope holds correspondence between Byron and various criminals throughout Sigil, including Lenny himself, and should be enough for the Harmonium to make an arrest and have Byron stand trial. Back outside, the sky begins to shift to a hazy orange, and the half-peak curfew of Trist's freedom is fast approaching. You step out, and immediately, the large frame of Corvus, the Harmonium guard, blocks your way. Next to him, hands bound, is the thief Lenny.
Heads up, Cutter! Citizens, do not move.
What's going on?
As a member of the Harmonium Guard, it is my duty to maintain order here in Sigil. I have been informed that your actions disrupt that order, citizen.
What?
I ask that you remain still. Do not resist, or I will be required to use force.
Corvus draws his sword as Dakon and Anna ready their blades.
Don't do anything stupid, Bashers. It won't go down well.
Anna, Dakon, it's all right.
Citizens, please, lower your weapons.
Come on, Corvus. Who sent you after us?
Sod this. I'm not gonna let him chain us up. We haven't done it. Citizen, if you refuse to comply, I must see it as an admission of offense. Lower your weapons.
Who sent you, Corvus?
Citizen, don't make this difficult for me. I have to follow through. Byron told me that you and Lenny here were involved in an assault and are suspects of a theft.
Assault? Theft? What are you talking about?
You were seen leaving the moneylender's office within the hour, and both he and one of his guards were left injured. He says you attacked him after having communed with the detainee Trist at the auction block.
I didn't lay a finger on him.
I want to believe you, citizen. I do, but I cannot ignore what he said.
Corvus, he's trying to stop me from uncovering his own crimes. Here, look.
You look to Lenny, who nods sadly. You realize his name is amongst those mentioned in league with Byron.
I also have proof of Trist's innocence.
Byron's loan was paid in full, and he knew it. Cautiously, he approaches and takes the documents from you. He examines them thoroughly and shakes his head.
That lying Burke! How can he get away with this?
That's up to you, Corvus. You said yourself you believed him connected to the murder of Zach. This may not prove that, but it's enough to make an arrest and get him on trial. Please, Corvus. I need to get to Trist before it's too late. Corvus shifts on his feet, looking uneasy. Letting you go would mean ignoring the claims of another, even if that other is the snake Byron.
These documents are quite detailed in their content. I personally will see to it that Byron Pickett is taken before the courts.
He gives you a hearty salute and sheaths his sword.
Go. Get to Trist. I believe that in halting you, I would only further disrupt the rightful order.
And to your surprise, he removes the chains about Lenny's wrists.
You too. I won't take Byron on his word. But once the courts see these documents, they'll want you brought in. Corvus, good luck, Lenny. Friend.
The harmonium turns and gives you a slight bow.
Once again, I thank you, citizen.
Then strides away. Lenny looks at him in disbelief as he does.
Well, Cutter, I'm not sure who you are, but whatever luck you bring with you suits me just fine.
No one's ever said that before.
No. You did it, Cutter. You've set up a chain here that'll make Sigil a better place. Not many folk can say that.
What will you do now?
Get out of here, that's for sure. Maybe go to a prime. See what life can be like outside of this place.
Fair enough. Farewell, Lenny.
Yeah. Farewell.
The bustle about the auction block has diminished since your last visit. But the broker, Darren, still works the crowd emphatically, rousing the merchants' zeal as they slather over the remaining prisoners. The haggard bunch that remain on display look bitterly upon their fates. Trist is amongst them once again, chained at the back of the line. Her complexion is paled and her eyes dart about. As she notices you, she chances forth a hopeful smile.
Have you found the document, Cutter? Can you free me?
Yes, I have it. A look of relief washes over her face. You think she is about to faint, but she quickly recovers.
I thank you, Cutter. Please return to me after you speak with Darren.
I will. Darren, on the other hand, seems less pleased to see you. With a slight scowl, he forces a smile at your approach.
Well met again. What can I do for you on this glorious, smog-ridden day?
I'm back for Trist.
Are you now? Half-peak, did I say?
He gestures to the sky that is just now blushing to a bruised pink.
You, Syrah, are pushing the limits of my generosity.
I have proof that she is innocent of any crime. You put her up for auction, then you're dealing in slavery. No dodging it. No law, no justice, and the courts will have you hanged. His eyes glint and his teeth clench into a broad smile.
Very well. No bother, Syrah. Show me this evidence.
He bows with a little too much exaggeration as he holds his hand out to you. You pass him the document, and he quickly scans its contents.
It seems we owe Lady Trist an apology, sir. From this moment she is free, and her status and property are to be returned to her. Hagen, unchain our Trist. She is free to go. I will see to it that all the arrangements are made with the court.
You better, Darren. With a bitter grin, he leans in close.
It's a rare individual who will do what you have done. Excuse me.
He bows to you, sincerely this time.
I must speak with Lady Trist. Farewell.
Within a short period, several clerks are summoned to verify Trist's situation. and the document is returned to her, along with various apologies and bows, with Trist nodding grimly throughout. But once all have left, you approach, and she turns to you and smiles warmly.
You are my savior, Cutter. I will forever be in your debt.
No debts, Trist. I was happy to help.
She glances about, and then pauses to think for a moment.
You have saved me from certain death, I suspect. A slow, painful death.
She frowns as she thinks.
I can hardly repay you for this, but I shall try. With the documents you have provided, the courts will restore my status and finances. I have a small sum of coin held for me in the vault of the Ninth World. It is not much, but it is a well-deserved reward for what you have done.
She scribbles a passcode onto a scrap of paper and hands it to you.
Thank you, Trist.
No, I thank you. Farewell, Cutter.
Farewell.
As the light dwindles and the day comes to a close, the busyness of these streets begins to settle. Workers still trudge by in a steady stream, crossing paths to switch shifts, and the echo of hammered steel remains an ever constant. But the furor of commerce has ceased. Nights in the lower ward are reserved for creation. Perhaps Lenny is right. What you have done today may well have improved the lives of many around you, even just a little and ever so brief. You look to your companions, and for the first time since you had all joined together, there is an ease on each of their brows, even a slight smile of satisfaction. And perhaps old wounds may seem less dire. You make your way towards Giltspur's tavern, and on the way, you see a huddled woman, a Githzerai. She is hunched and bent, and her constant coughing is obviously a source of pain. She holds to her face a handkerchief that is practically soaking with blood, tissue, and phlegm. She notices you staring and hisses.
Are you alright? Are you in pain?
She coughs again and waves a hand at you dismissively, huddling into her rags, clearly wishing to be left alone.
Do you need healing? Is there anything I can do for you?
The woman blinks at you, her rheumy eyes tearing. And then, as she notices Dakon, she coughs out a few phrases in the Gith language.
Anasi, Jezratki, Neizan, Ne, Gustil, Nekencha.
Then doubles over in agony as another fit of coughing racks her body.
What did she say? Her name is Anazi. Her sickness is fatal. It causes her pain. The resistance of the people to the evil airs that clot this ward is weaker than that of you humans. I am a Zerth. It is my responsibility to provide an alternative. She has begged me to do so since the people will not approach her.
Dakon leans down to her, and Anazi touches the unbroken circle of Zerthamon chained about his neck. Her face is stoic.
Then be merciful, Dakon. Leave us. I will hear her words and give her life finality in the sharing of her story.
Quietly, Dakon leads the woman to a place of peace and privacy, where no guards or vagabonds will disrupt her final moments. Once they have passed beyond your view, you continue on to the Red Pony Inn. The energy inside is predictably boisterous, with all the bravado you might expect from a bar filled with drunken mercenaries. But after the days you've had, all of you now yearn for peace, and Giltspur allows you the use of your previously wrecked room. Anna quickly curls onto the armchair by the cot and is soon fast asleep. But Maud remains floating, staring at the now boarded window from which he had been kidnapped not 2 days before.
Another day in Sigil, am I right? I guess. Chief. I'm sorry.
What for?
Well,
for getting caught like that. That's not... No, I know. But I mean, you were on a roll.
What makes you say that?
Come on. You found Farad, and the Fiendling. You know, you two get along real well.
What?
I've seen the way you look at it, Chief.
You're way off.
Nothing to be ashamed of, but that's not what I'm trying to say.
What's gotten into you?
Nothing. I'm just... Well, you were on a path to something happened to you up on that shelf. I'm trying to say thank you, Chief.
Okay.
So, yeah. Thank you. You know, there aren't many things that can scare a basher like me. Or you. But I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't come back.
Well, I'm pretty sure Lothar would have changed his mind and thrown you off that shelf the moment he realized how much talking you do.
Oh, haha, very funny.
But no. Of course. The words that were inscribed in your tomb echo within your thoughts.
Don't trust the skull.
I mean, I need all the help I can get right now. And you're one of a few people I think I can actually trust.
Yeah.
Mort?
Yeah, Chief?
I could use some advice. What do you think I should do next?
Looks like we need to find out more about that night hag Ravel. And I have to tell you, Chief, I am not looking forward to that. Some of the graybeards in this burg must know more about her. Start hitting some of the high-ups. Factions, scholars. The Fest Hall sages have a whole font of knowledge.
Fest Hall?
Yeah, sensates. They have libraries of sensory stones that star experiences, and they have plenty of sages, lecturers, and trainers that might be able to tumble us under the dark of what's up with Ravel. And there's the Godsmen, but they tend to have their heads up their own asses so much it's hard to get anything useful out of them.
What do you know about her?
Well, she was balmy enough to choose to make you immortal. I mean, she could have chosen me. Still, anyone addled enough to lock horns with the Lady of Pain isn't someone we really want to find.
Right. Day 11. Hour. 2 before any peak. I helped someone else today. Trist needed something, and I was able to provide it. No death, no vengeance, but justice. So why doesn't it feel good? Surely I should feel good. I could tell Dakon, Anna, Mort. They looked for a moment to be happy. As though doing this today somehow felt right. And it was. I believe that. But I don't feel anything. I helped Trist because I could. Not because I should. In the tomb, one of the inscriptions mentioned incarnations who'd committed countless atrocities in their lives. It also mentioned that there could be as many who sought only to do good. But why? There were at least a dozen other prisoners on that block. And I helped one. Because that was the one that I could help. And maybe there is more. Maybe Byron being put away will help others. But for how long? I have lived countless lives. I'm dragging each of them now behind me, churning whatever and whoever steps in my path, for better or worse. And if nothing changes, I will live countless more. This ravel took my mortality. Why? Whoever I was before, that bound Dakon and traveled with Dianara, Zachariah, Mort. This me, it seems, was ruthless, scouring the plains, using whatever he could to find this answer, not stopping to consider what was good. And I don't want to be that. But what's the point in just tipping the scale if I don't know who I am? What does it matter what I do if life goes on forever? If I go on forever? You sit in the common room, stuck in your thoughts for a moment. Despite your allies' fatigue, it isn't all that late. The music still plays in the bar below. And so, having had enough of your own company for one evening, you head downstairs. It's still busy, but there's room at the bar, and as you arrive, Giltspur places a tankard before you with a wink. It tastes strong, more than just ale, not particularly refined, but it's hitting the spot just now. And as you sink back to take in the hubbub of those around you, you notice the Githyanki warrior who'd clashed words with Dakon this morning. He is staring at you with eyes like two black stones. You raise your tankard, and he nods in return, rising from his seat. He is wearing strange, gaudy leathers, and as he sidles towards you, you notice a silver-wrought blade sheathed at his hip.
I saw you earlier. You are the human seeking memories. I can help you.
What help can you offer?
Am I not Githyanki? Do we not dwell on the fields of the astral plane? I am an angler of memories that disappear. I know how to attract memories. I know how to catch them.
He pauses and leans forward conspiratorially.
I know how to restore them.
You notice, as he does, several other Githyanki, all scattered about the bar. At a peripheral glance, each one has their eyes trained upon you. The astral plane? Interesting. What can you tell me about that?
It is a no place. A place between places. where mind is all that matters. It is the home of my people. When people die, their souls flee to the outer planes.
He reaches out his palm, and a flicker of pale light streams about it like a swirling cloud or a river of glass.
As they pass through the astral to reach them, their memories are stripped and left to bob in the silver sea. I know my way around this sea. I can help retrieve your lost memories. All that remains is for us to agree upon a price.
What price is that?
It is a matter of a few coins. The price is negotiable. You will determine the value of these memories I find and pay accordingly.
Sounds good. What do I have to do?
If I am to bait my hook, I will need some of the memories you currently possess. I also require a place of concentration and quiet. If you will follow me, we will journey to one such place, and I will make you whole once again. Agreed?
Agreed. Let's go. Thank you for listening to Planescape Torment, the unofficial audio series, a RevocerGM production. To support the show and those involved, please consider subscribing to our Patreon or donating via our Ko-fi page. Links to both are in the description.